Most evil people don't look evil. They smile, they speak politely, they pretend to care. But behind that mask, there is manipulation, jealousy, and hidden intentions. A Stoic mind understands one powerful truth. Evil is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, patient, and disguised as kindness. If you want to protect your peace, your energy, and your life, you must learn how to recognize these people early, because the wrong person in your life can slowly destroy your mind. 1. They always play the victim. An evil person rarely takes responsibility. Nothing is ever their fault. If something goes wrong, they blame someone else. They blame their friends. They blame their family. They blame the world, but they never blame themselves. A Stoic person understands that true strength comes from accountability, but an evil mind avoids accountability at all costs. They prefer excuses over growth. 2. They enjoy the pain of others. One of the clearest signs of an evil person is this. They secretly enjoy when others fail. When someone succeeds, they feel jealous. When someone struggles, they feel satisfied. They might pretend to support you, but deep inside, they hope you fail. Stoic philosophy teaches us to celebrate the success of others, but evil people compete with everyone. 3. They manipulate people. Evil people are often very good with words. They know exactly what to say to gain trust. They flatter you. They agree with everything you say. They make you feel important. But all of this is a strategy. Their goal is control. Once they gain your trust, they slowly start using you for their own benefit. A Stoic mind stays alert, because not every kind word comes from a kind heart. 4. They create drama and chaos. Peaceful people create peace, but toxic people create chaos. Wherever an evil person goes, problems follow, arguments appear, misunderstandings grow, relationships break, and somehow they're always involved. A Stoic person values calmness and stability, but an evil mind feeds on conflict. 5. They lack empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand the feelings of others. But evil people lack this completely. They do not care if someone is hurt. They do not care if their actions damage someone's life. Their only concern is their own benefit. To them, people are not human beings. They are simply tools. 6. Their actions never match their words. Evil people make many promises. They say they care. They say they will support you. They say they will stand by your side. But when the time comes, they disappear. Because words are cheap. Stoics judge people not by their words, but by their actions. And actions always reveal the truth. Point 7. They slowly drain your energy. An evil person does not always attack you directly. Sometimes they do something much more dangerous. They slowly drain your energy. Every conversation with them feels heavy. Every interaction leaves you confused. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel exhausted. A Stoic understands that energy is one of the most valuable things in life, because where your energy goes, your life follows. Evil people know this. That is why they constantly bring negativity, complaints, and drama into your life. And if you stay around them long enough, their mindset begins infecting yours. That is why wise people choose their circle carefully, because protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. 8. They hide behind fake kindness. Not every enemy looks like an enemy. Some enemies look like friends. They smile in front of you. They support you when others are watching. But behind your back, they destroy your reputation. They spread rumors. They twist your words. They try to damage your image without you even knowing. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself of a powerful truth. You will meet selfish, dishonest, and jealous people in life. But he also said something important. Their behavior should not change your character. You must remain calm, disciplined, and aware, because the best defense against evil people is not anger. It is wisdom. 9. They try to control your mind. One of the most dangerous traits of an evil person is manipulation. They try to control how you think. They try to make you doubt yourself. They make you feel guilty for things that are not even your fault. Slowly, they begin shaping your reality. And before you realize it, You start questioning your own judgment. But Stoic philosophy teaches a powerful lesson. Your mind belongs to you. No one has the right to control your thoughts. No one has the right to steal your peace. And the moment you recognize manipulation, their power disappears. Because manipulation only works on those who are unaware. 10. Stoic wisdom. Stay calm, but stay aware. The Stoics never taught people to hate others. They taught something far more powerful. They taught awareness. Because once you see people clearly, they lose the ability to deceive you. You don't need revenge. You don't need anger. You simply create distance. And distance is often the most powerful response. A wise person does not argue with toxic people. They simply remove them from their life. 21. They lie effortlessly. An evil person does not struggle with lying. For them, the truth is simply an obstacle. They can look directly into your eyes and still tell a lie without hesitation. They change their stories depending on the situation. They twist facts to protect their image. Over time, their lies become so natural that even they begin believing them. But Stoic wisdom teaches us something powerful. A person who lies repeatedly eventually destroys their own credibility. Truth may be slow, but it is powerful, and in the end, truth always exposes deception. 22. They gossip constantly. Evil people often hide their intentions behind gossip. They talk about everyone. They share secrets that were never meant to be shared. They spread half-truths and rumors just to create conflict. But a wise person understands something simple. If someone constantly talks about others behind their back, they will eventually talk about you the same way. Stoics value silence and dignity, because a disciplined mind does not waste energy discussing other people's flaws. 23. They manipulate emotions. Manipulation is one of the most dangerous traits of an evil mind. These people study your emotions carefully. They learn what makes you feel guilty. They learn what makes you feel afraid. They learn what makes you feel insecure. And then they use those emotions against you. But Stoic philosophy teaches emotional awareness. When you understand your emotions, no one can easily control them. 24. They pretend to be innocent. An evil person rarely appears aggressive. Instead, they pretend to be innocent. When confronted, they act confused. They say things like, "I never meant that. You misunderstood me. You're overreacting." And slowly they shift the blame onto you. But wise people observe patterns, because repeated behavior reveals real intentions. 25. They exploit kindness. Kindness is a beautiful quality, but in the hands of evil people, it becomes an opportunity for exploitation. They see kindness as weakness. They ask for favors repeatedly. They expect support, but rarely return it. They rely on your compassion while giving nothing in return. Stoic philosophy reminds us, be kind, but never naive. Kindness must be balanced with wisdom. 26. They hide jealousy behind compliments. Jealous people rarely express their envy openly. Instead, they hide it behind subtle comments. They may say something like, "Wow, you got lucky. Anyone could have done that. You're successful, but don't forget where you came from." These statements appear harmless, but they slowly try to reduce your confidence. A Stoic mind recognizes jealousy without becoming angry, because jealousy is simply the reflection of someone else's insecurity. 27. They create unnecessary competition. Evil people turn everything into a competition. Your achievements threaten them. Your growth makes them uncomfortable. Instead of supporting others, they constantly try to prove superiority. But Stoic philosophy rejects unnecessary competition, because life is not about defeating others. It is about mastering yourself. 28. They seek attention through drama. Some people create peace. Others create drama. Evil personalities thrive on emotional chaos. They exaggerate problems. They create arguments. They turn small situations into major conflicts, because attention feeds their ego. A Stoic mind stays calm and refuses to participate in unnecessary drama. 29. They rarely show gratitude. Gratitude is a sign of humility, but evil people rarely feel grateful. They expect help without appreciation. They expect loyalty without respect. Nothing is ever enough for them. Stoic wisdom teaches the opposite. A wise person appreciates even small blessings, because gratitude strengthens character. 30. They avoid self-reflection. Self-reflection requires honesty. You must admit mistakes. You must examine your own behavior. But evil people avoid this completely. They never ask themselves if they are wrong. Instead, they always blame external factors. But Stoic philosophers practice daily self-reflection, because improvement begins with self-awareness. 31. They distort the truth. Evil people rarely tell complete lies. Instead, they distort the truth. They remove important details. They change the order of events. They manipulate facts to create a narrative that benefits them. But truth has a powerful quality. Over time, inconsistencies begin appearing, and slowly the deception becomes visible. 32. They manipulate conversations. In conversations, evil people often twist your words. They change the meaning of what you said. They interrupt your explanations. They shift topics when they feel exposed. Their goal is not understanding. Their goal is control. Stoic communication focuses on clarity and honesty. 33. They shift blame constantly. Responsibility is heavy. Evil people avoid it. Whenever something goes wrong, they quickly find someone else to blame. It could be co-workers, friends, or even circumstances, but never themselves. Stoics believe responsibility builds strength. Avoiding it only builds weakness. 34. They gaslight others. Gaslighting is psychological manipulation. An evil person may deny events that clearly happened. They make you question your memory. They make you doubt your own perception. Over time, this creates confusion and emotional dependence. But a Stoic mind remains grounded in logic and observation. Truth does not disappear simply because someone denies it. 35. They create confusion. Clarity brings peace. Confusion creates control. Evil people often keep situations unclear. They change plans suddenly. They give mixed signals. They create uncertainty so others remain dependent on them. But wise people value clarity and consistency. 36. They pretend to misunderstand you. Sometimes evil people pretend not to understand simple things, not because they are confused, but because it benefits them. They misinterpret your words to create arguments. They twist your intentions, and then they act like the victim. But calm observation reveals this pattern quickly. 37. They use emotional pressure. Manipulative people often rely on emotional pressure. They say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would do this." Or, "You owe me after everything I've done." These statements attempt to control your decisions. Stoic philosophy teaches emotional independence. Your choices should come from reason, not pressure. 38. They exploit your weaknesses. Everyone has vulnerabilities. Fear, insecurity, past mistakes. But evil people study these weaknesses carefully, and when necessary, they use them as weapons. This is why Stoics emphasize self-awareness. When you understand your weaknesses, others cannot easily exploit them. 39. They betray loyalty. Loyalty means standing beside someone even when it is difficult. But evil people abandon loyalty quickly when it benefits them. They switch sides. They reveal secrets. They sacrifice others for personal gain. And this behavior eventually isolates them. 40. They repeat toxic patterns. One mistake can happen to anyone, but repeated harmful behavior reveals character. Evil people rarely change their patterns. They hurt people again and again. They repeat manipulation. They repeat betrayal. Stoic wisdom teaches us to watch patterns carefully, because patterns reveal the truth about a person's nature. 41. They resist accountability. An evil person fears responsibility, because responsibility exposes truth. Whenever something goes wrong, they quickly search for someone else to blame. They blame circumstances. They blame other people. They blame bad luck, but they rarely look at themselves. A Stoic mind does the opposite. A Stoic asks one simple question every day: what could I have done better? Because growth only begins when a person accepts responsibility. But an evil mind avoids this question forever. And that is why such people remain trapped in the same destructive patterns throughout their lives. 42. They attack your peace. Some people support your peace. Others quietly destroy it. Evil people often disturb your mental balance. They create unnecessary tension. They provoke emotional reactions. They say things designed to upset you. Their goal is simple. They want control over your emotional state. But Stoic philosophy teaches emotional mastery. A Stoic understands something powerful. If someone can control your emotions, they control your mind. That is why wise people guard their inner peace carefully. Because peace is not weakness. Peace is strength. 43. They disrespect your values. Your values define who you are. Your honesty, your discipline, your principles. But evil people often mock these qualities. They may call your integrity naive. They may call your discipline boring. They may try to convince you that your standards are too high. Why? Because strong values expose weak character. And people who lack discipline often feel uncomfortable around those who possess it. A Stoic never lowers their standards to please others. They remain loyal to their principles, even when the world pressures them to change. 44. They thrive in chaos. Evil personalities are rarely comfortable in peaceful environments. Peace removes their influence, but chaos gives them power. They create confusion. They create arguments. They create emotional tension between people. Because when everyone is distracted by conflict, they gain control. But Stoic thinkers value calmness. They seek clarity, stability, and order, because a calm mind sees the truth more clearly than a chaotic one. 45. They reject discipline. Discipline is the foundation of strong character. It requires patience. It requires effort. It requires self-control. But evil people usually reject discipline. They prefer shortcuts. They want results without responsibility. They want power without effort. Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite. A disciplined mind cannot easily be manipulated because discipline creates independence. 46. They fear strong minds. One interesting truth about toxic people is this: they rarely attack weak individuals. Instead, they feel threatened by strong minds. People who think independently. People who remain calm under pressure. People who cannot be easily manipulated. Because strong minds expose deception quickly. And once deception is exposed, evil loses its influence. 47. They hate calm people. Calmness is one of the most powerful traits a person can develop. Because calm people cannot easily be provoked. They do not react emotionally to every situation. They observe first and respond later. Evil people often find this frustrating because their manipulation relies on emotional reactions. But when someone remains calm, manipulation stops working. This is why Stoics practice emotional control. 48. They cannot tolerate honesty. Truth is uncomfortable for people who live through deception. Honest people expose lies simply by speaking clearly. Integrity exposes corruption. Transparency exposes manipulation. That is why evil people often attack honest individuals. They try to discredit them. They try to silence them, because honesty threatens their control. But Stoic philosophy values truth above comfort. 49. They envy growth. Growth reveals potential. But to insecure people, it feels threatening. When you become stronger, wiser, or more successful, evil people often feel uncomfortable, not because you harm them, but because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. Stoics understand this reaction. That is why they focus on personal improvement rather than external approval. 50. Time always reveals the truth. One of the most powerful lessons in Stoicism is patience. Because time reveals everything. A person can pretend for a while. They can hide their intentions. They can manipulate situations temporarily. But eventually, their true nature appears. Patterns become visible. Actions expose character. And truth rises to the surface. This is why wise people observe patiently instead of reacting quickly. Because time is the greatest revealer of character. 51. They pretend to be something they are not. An evil person often hides behind a mask. They pretend to be kind, supportive, and trustworthy. But this kindness is only temporary. It is a performance designed to gain your trust. Once they feel their control over your trust, their true nature slowly begins to appear. Their behavior changes. Their words become harsher. Their intentions become clearer. Stoic philosophy teaches us to judge people not by their first impression, but by their consistent behavior. Because character is not revealed in moments of comfort. It is revealed over time. 52. They feel threatened by honest people. Honest people make evil individuals uncomfortable. Why? Because honesty exposes lies without even trying. A person who lives truthfully becomes a mirror that reflects the dishonesty of others. That is why toxic people often attack honest individuals. They try to discredit them, silence them, or isolate them. But Stoic wisdom reminds us that truth does not need loud defense. Over time, honesty always stands stronger than deception. 53. They cannot handle someone stronger than them. Evil people often seek control over others. They prefer people who are emotionally weak, insecure, or easily influenced. But when they encounter someone with a disciplined mind, strong boundaries, and clear thinking, they become uncomfortable because strength removes their power. Stoic philosophy teaches mental independence, the ability to think clearly without being influenced by manipulation. A strong mind is the greatest defense against toxic individuals. 54. They distort the truth. A manipulative person rarely lies in obvious ways. Instead, they twist the truth. They remove important details. They exaggerate certain parts of the story. They change the narrative to make themselves appear innocent. This subtle distortion is one of the most dangerous forms of deception. But Stoic thinkers believed in calm observation. When you observe carefully and avoid emotional reactions, the truth slowly becomes visible. 55. They seek power over understanding. Wise people seek knowledge. Evil-minded individuals seek control. Their goal is not to understand others, but to dominate them. They want influence, authority, and attention. But Stoicism teaches that real power is self-mastery. Controlling your emotions, thoughts, and actions is far more powerful than controlling others. Someone who constantly seeks power over people reveals their inner insecurity. 56. They destroy trust around them. Trust is one of the most valuable things in human relationships. But evil people destroy trust wherever they go. They gossip, spread rumors, betray confidences, and manipulate information. Slowly, the environment around them becomes filled with suspicion and conflict. Stoic philosophy values honesty and reliability. A person who destroys trust also destroys their own reputation, even if it takes time for others to see it. 57. They fear being exposed. An evil person constantly fears one thing: exposure. Because once their true nature becomes visible, their influence disappears. That is why they often attack anyone who questions them. They try to silence criticism and control the narrative. But Stoic wisdom reminds us that truth does not remain hidden forever. Eventually, reality exposes every mask. 58. They cannot maintain genuine relationships. True relationships require honesty, respect, and empathy. But evil individuals struggle to maintain such connections. Their relationships often become unstable, filled with conflict, betrayal, or manipulation. People slowly distance themselves once they recognize a pattern. Stoic thinkers believe that character determines the quality of relationships. A dishonest mind cannot build a stable connection with others. 59. They leave destruction behind them. If you observe carefully, you will notice a pattern in the lives of toxic individuals. Behind them are broken friendships, damaged relationships, unresolved conflicts. Their path leaves emotional destruction. But Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite approach. A wise person leaves peace, stability, and growth wherever they go. Your presence should improve the lives of others, not damage them. 60. The Stoic lesson: protect your mind. In the end, the greatest Stoic lesson is simple. You cannot control the behavior of evil people, but you can control your response to them. You can protect your mind. You can protect your peace. You can choose who deserves a place in your life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that difficult people will always exist. But he also knew something powerful. A disciplined mind cannot be easily disturbed. So stay aware, observe people carefully, and never allow someone else's darkness to disturb the peace within you. Protect your mind. That is the Stoic way. Fire